behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there, Palm Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. Another great interview is coming up in just a moment. But before we begin, don't forget we have that subscribe button and bell buttons below you there as always. Just click that and you'll always be notified of any new episodes coming your way. And if you leave a comment on the comment section, you're welcome to. We'd love to hear from you there. And pay attention to the description part as well as the closing credits at the end of the show, because we'll have contact info for you. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. From Nashville, Tennessee today, we have Don Wall, a very awesome artist, and I think you're going to agree. And we're going to get to that in a second, but first, here's another quick word from the Caden Gordon Show. So don't go away. We'll be right back right after this.
It is Caden from the Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix. Check out my show at thecadengordonshow.com.
Okay, we're back, and with us from Nashville, Tennessee today, we have Don Wall. Thanks for joining us, Don.
Thank you, Paul. Great to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. Well, how did you start? I mean, were you always involved in a musical family? Did you just kind of fall into it much later? I mean, everyone has their own story. Go ahead and tell us your story.
Yeah, well, when I was a little boy, my mother played the piano and my father was a singer.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really do anything professionally with it. It was mostly just down in the basement. But I caught onto that, and we used to sing songs in the car. And then I suppose the big thing that changed everything for me was when the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan. I saw that and I was immediately struck. And I got a guitar. I never really learned how to play it. It was a Sears Silvertone, probably the cheapest one they had. And I couldn't really press down on the strings. So I started banging on things and I became a drummer. I didn't start playing guitar until I was like 40 years old.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that's a great story. I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. I'm sure you got many years ahead of you left. Well, I know you mentioned the Beatles. Were there any other kind of influences you had?
Well, sure, the whole British invasion, and then the music that really captivated our country. Beginning in the 60s and the 70s. I mean, I was very much involved. I was in rock and roll and blues bands starting in junior high, and I all the way through high school, and even into college. I played some. I stopped playing for a while when I moved to New York City for work, and then when I got transferred down to Dallas, I had more room, and so I could set up the drums again, and I started playing again. So, yeah, I've been influenced by everything along the way in popular music. I even got interested in country when I was I'm from Massachusetts, and I was interested in country music pretty early on. And when I moved to Texas, I really got interested in it, Willie, and then it was just about the same time that George Strait was coming on, and so I really enjoyed George Strait, and then Alan Jackson and Garth Brooks and everybody that was out around that time. I guess that was in the '80s, and then continued to just be influenced and be a good listener. And I started playing guitar when I was 40 because my daughter was interested in playing the fiddle, and she started taking lessons. And I quickly realized that a fiddle player had to have a guitar accompanist. You know, she was learning sort of the Texas style, and that's largely based on competitions. And so those Texas fiddle songs, it's always a guitar and a fiddle. And so in order to help her in competitions and things like that, I started playing the guitar. I was pretty bad, but that's the way it goes.
Well, yeah, no, all those bands you mentioned, even like you said, the British Invasion, the Stones, Hermits, they were all very awesome artists, I think. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, if we want to find out more about you, I mean, can we find you on all streaming platforms, social media platforms, official website? Tell everybody about that.
Sure. Yeah, I've got a new website and a new album. The album is called Love Texas, and it's on all the streaming platforms, including Spotify, YouTube, Apple, pretty much everywhere. And my website is donwall.net. So it's DONWALL.net. And on my website, you can access pretty much the whole album for free. You don't have to pay for streaming because I put it up there on my website for people to listen. I'd rather have people listen to it than worry about paying for it right now.
Okay, well, go there today on all social media streaming and, like you said, donwall.net and check him out. I know he will love you for that. And I guess the video we're going to be playing now is called Cornbread. It sounds self-explanatory, but is there a deeper meaning to this story? Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, it's a song that kind of reflects my time in Texas. It starts off. Remember, I'm not from Texas. I was born in Massachusetts, and I moved to Texas from New York City, and because I was in the TV news business. And when I got to Texas, I realized I had a lot to learn about Texas and the South, and so the song kind of follows my journey, my first impressions of Texas, and then the second verse is really about an experience I had with Willie Nelson's Picnic, and then the third verse is kind of a wrap up of that I've 40 years later, and my kids were born there. So the song is really kind of my Texas journey.
Hmm. Well, I love the song. You guys are going to as well, and we're going to get to that in just a second. But Don, thank you so much for coming today. If you ever want to come back and plug something new, well, maybe in the future we'll have you back on, and maybe you can do that for us.
That'd be wonderful. Thanks, Paul.
Okay, well, here it is, Cornbread by Don Wall. It begins right now.
Yankee this, Yankee that, I broke down and bought a hat. Barbecue, chicken fry, I gained weight, that's no lie. Jalapenos, margaritas, gorgeous Texas senoritas. On the highway feeling mean, got me a plate with refried beans. And cornbread, cornbread, cornbread and iced tea. Eat your greens and black-eyed peas. We'll have a feast on New Year's Eve. I wasn't born here, I may not die here, but I got Texas in my jeans. July 4th, I went to Austin, spent the day with Willie Nelson. Hippies, rednecks, red hot mamas, full quilt ostrich, Tony llamas. You know I fit right in here with my ice chest full of cold beer. Cowboy dreams, blue eyes crying, it's a whiskey river, man, I ain't lying. And I like cornbread, cornbread, cornbread and iced tea. Eat your greens and black-eyed peas. We'll have a feast on New Year's Eve. I wasn't born here, I may not die here, but I got Texas in my jeans. Well, I lived round Dallas 40 years. People still know that I ain't from here, but I've been through about every town, seen the sun rise and the hell come down. Lone Star living is infectious in this nation state called Texas. Born and raised here, my kids say they'd never want to move away. And they like cornbread, cornbread, cornbread and iced tea. Eat your greens and black-eyed peas. we'll have a feast on New Year's Eve. And the kids say, we were born here, we're gonna die here, 'cause we got Texas in our genes. We were born here, we're gonna die here, 'cause we got Texas in our genes.